Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. It's indeed to explain what's really happening in this market. But we all know that nothing has changed much since last Friday. The fact that, the China slowing down, it's something that I will talk about next Wednesday. I think many of you may have known that. But also next week, we also be doing for our members orientation. So if the members who are listening right now, remember on Tuesday, 8:30, we'll be doing our members orientation, and of course, our usual Monday live training in for that. But the Wednesday talk will be on China slowdown. So pretty much today the theme is why we are seeing the market not really going anywhere, as well as the KLCI. So let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our breakfast show with TradeVSA, VSA 360 in here. Now also let's take a look on to the what we're going to talk about. Now, as I said before, nothing has changed much from last Friday. We are still in some sort of stage 3 distribution in here, as we have seen in here. We did have a spring holding up that support, but usually when they hold that support, the market need to really want to able to test a bit higher, but it's still holding on that support. So like it did, we are still going on to a stage 3 distribution. So we need to able to read it, because when stage 4 do come over, when I talk about on Wednesday, which is the dismissal of the UMNO chief, which is Zahid, right? So that is still ongoing, and that is causing a lot of volatility in the market. And also this weekend we'll be having the by-election in Johor. So all that's going to end into the volatility that we see in the market. But not to forget, the Pentagon Guider will let you know where we are, as such that I'm going to share with you some of the updates that we have in here. And we've done extensively a lot of back testing in our Pentagon. I think those I've shared also on Wednesday night, how well this market has hold on in here. You have to use a different strategy than what we've been used to in order to really profit in this market, and that's what pretty much we do. So if you're inexperienced at something, we will share with you how you can benefit and join our program too. Alright, so our VSA 360 comes with many of the features in here, but this time we're going to be focusing more on the insider buying and insider selling in here, especially in the context of insider buying in here, whereas we'll keep the Wednesday on more of the stock selection. And also do take note, coming 1st of October, we'll be doing a new show, which is a new format on this Friday morning here. Not so much focusing on the VSA 360. We will be doing on Smart Robie US market. All right, that's right. So this will be the final month that we'll be doing on the VSA 360, and much of the VSA 360 features and the training and a lot of the discussion of the tools will be done on the Wednesday night talk, the 9:30. So I just don't want to repeat in here, because I do think that going forward, a new exciting era will be on the US market with Smart Robie, and that's something we'll be focusing coming month of October. So this is the first time I'm making this announcement in here, and let's take a look at the VSA 360. As you can see in here, what we have this morning. So on the dashboard side, you can see now only Malaysia is actually turning green, right? US is still red, Pentagon. So it's really one of those dictated by foreign funds. Now this morning you can see, right, we are showing some sort of weakness in here, but what's really holding it is yesterday we have net buying, another 96 million net buying in here. So markets holding up. Energy and property has quiet down. That's why we said before on Wednesday night, don't focus so much on property. The focus now is still on energy and also finance. Finance, I think, is picked back down again, right? So those are the two not. And we want to take a look at the watch list that we have. Excess rates. Care Plus has turned green, Pentagon, and this is also due to the comment that was made by the news that Care Plus is going into diversifying out from rubber glove into EV. So that's why this market. So healthcare, so all the so-called rubber glove sectors is actually turning upwards. You can see Kosan is turning upwards, and also Kosan, it's really interesting. Later I will also mention this as part of the case study. We want to look at Kosan in here. Supermax, Hata, all these are turned green because there are a certain talk that the downside of the rubber glove is almost bottom up here. As we can see, many of these stocks started to turn up, and that's why Hata Lega actually and Supermax has really turned up in here. So you do take note, all the technology stocks started to turn down, and this is also in line with the iPhone ban by the Chinese government. Now somehow, somewhere I also read that this has been overplayed by the so-called sell-off that we've seen, because the number of government's officers using it are totaling about 500,000 in here. That's about close to about 40 over million of iPhone users in China. So it's a small amount in here, but we yet to be seen how this is going to be impacting. But right now you can see by just looking at the alert center, the shares of the KLSE and US market pretty much has a flow what's really happening in this market in here. Okay, so let's go back to the dashboard, and also we want to be looking into so this market will continue likely to be downwards. All right, so let's take a look at this. Is something that we talk about also on Wednesday on the sectors. Property continue to be up almost 65 days. So this one is something you don't want to chase anymore. Property is something that you need to let go. Take some profit and move on to the next sector. All right, and energy. This is the one that you want to be focusing. I think I talked about this on Wednesday. Check out my Wednesday night talk in here. So I'm not just going to, and the other one is finance. Let's hopefully it will break up in here, but we have to see what's happening in the finance, because very favorably was reported by the analysts about the growing net income interest in here. So this is something that, now if you enjoy what we are saying in here, do give us a thumb up so we know that this is something that we would like to talk on. So those are the KLC sector, and also seasonality. We do have, surprisingly, September month, we've been very negative, right? And this month is only up 0.5% in here. So just check out in here. Thank you for your thumbs up in here. Really appreciate the kind of support that we have. And also looking into the foreign funds. So as I said that already in here, and we done that one. So just take note, the Green Pentagon is maybe just temporary in here within the sectors in here. Now, as I said before, the KLCI remain to be unchanged. As I said before, we are still in the stage 3 distribution, and once stage 3 distribution is over, we will begin to see the markdown, and watch out for the sell-off bar. So unchanged from last week. We did hit that red Pentagon, but it turned back up to the green Pentagon. So you can see from here too, right, we have triple top 1, 2, 3. So here is, whenever we see a lot of upthrust, and that's usually a topish sign that the market's going to break up. So maybe next week, when the by-election didn't do as well as it is, then we'll see that. But really double top, watch out for the upthrust, as I said before. But if the market were to go up, then it will take out the upthrust. But having said that, now we are seeing more and more weakness setting in here. And of course, the breakdown of 1440 or the stage 4 shares will be that beginning over there in here. Okay, now let's also take a look at the futures chart that we see in here, and this is what we talk about in here. Despite the foreign funds coming in on yesterday in here, we have this nice spring here, but overall it's still what we call a mushrooming down. Mushrooming down, you can see are barely holding up to the 200-day moving average. As the day progresses on, it's going to be testing lower and lower, and that's why I don't really think that this market has many intention of going up. It will still just try to progress itself, holding up on the support, but we still need to wait for that green Pentagon for it to break out. Will it come? Really don't know, but right now we are in the red Pentagon as much as the market show you on the futures chart in here. Now we're going to be focusing more going forward for this month of September on the insider buying, which is one of the features rarely been explored, which previously we have focused a lot on the screener. Now the screener will be doing on the Wednesday live talk show here. So let's take a look from the insider buying that was last week. Now last week we have the Tenco. You can see here Tenco. So let me just go on to Tenco, right? So let me just make it a bit smaller here. So you can see that one. This was 10. So this was on the last week. Then we're going to go on to Tenco here. So you can see from the chart, Tenco, right? There was some buying here, and you can see right now well, I think the owner lah, probably, yeah, Tan Jun Suan, he's buying in here, and it's up at the 55 cents. So with him, even with the recent buying of 2.5 million, I do think that this is likely to hold up in here. Next one we have is Sengao. Okay, let's take a look at Sengao. So if you want to get hold of this very wonderful feature in here, you might want to consider being a member of the Premium VSA 360 in here. So you can see from here, we did see the beginning of the Green Pentagon. You can see Green Pentagon, and then market started to move up very nicely here. 53 right now to 58 cents. This morning is still up 58 cents. Still up at 58 cents. So that's pretty good for just reading the Green Pentagon and also coincide together with the so-called insider buying and selling. Really good features. And we're also going to go back to previously on the 18th of August. So we always felt that sometimes with these foreign funds coming in and going out, we want to see also insider buying that is moving up. So we're going to go back to the 18th of August on VS. So we're just going to scroll up, type VS here, VS Industry. Right, and let's take a look at the chart here. You can see VS did move up above $1 after what we saw previously was around here, which was the 18th of August. You can see 18th of August here, and then the market started to move up to above 1 ringgit. So that's a good one for VS. All right, and let's go to the next one. Cepat, which is something that we discussed on the 18th of August. So let's look at Cepat here. So you can see Cepat, still lots of buying previously that we have here. You can see from here. So let's push it up a bit. There's still a lot of buying by the Tan Sri. So it's sort of holding up. After the buying, then there was no volume. You can see here, right? So it's still holding up in here for Cepat in here. So the risk level, it's pretty low, okay? Then you have the CGB. CGB at 195, CGB. So you can see CGB here 195 has gone to 2 ringgit 40 cents. So this is really a good one. So out you can see very distinctly many of those that I talk about, the insider buying are working very, very favorable to many of what we just discussed going back to 11. The longer you put on it, which is almost a month, stocks have really moved up in here, CGB in here, and because foreign funds are really buying into it. So you can see from here when they started the buying, this was when we first talked about it here, right? This, let me just go back 3 months. This was when the RYRK, yeah, that was one of the big holders, and they were buying, and then the market just go up. Okay. Now, if you have any question about insider buying, these are generally publicly available information, but the way we are able to display it to detect smart money buying and the screener, I do think that this is something very, very powerful too. All right, so you can see from here for MACD, last one turned 6th of August, still moving sideways for MACD in here because there were a lot of volume coming in previously, but we switch back to 3 months here, right, and going back to even further 6 months. Okay. Okay, we don't have any MACD here. Need to check out why the MACD here has turned up, but we'll see. We'll see how's this thing market's going to coming back. So that's for with MACD chart here. Okay. Now if so if you have any stock that you want me to look at, do let me know. All right. And why we want to do the chart that we have. Okay, so let's look at this week of insider buying. Definitely is NCT. Okay, let's take a look at NCT. NCT, we have this is some buying by the owner again. Okay, NCT, you can see from here the owner 1.9 million, 5.4 million in here. So that's why I like this kind of stock, and it's also part of Kenangan Growth Fund. Okay, so at 32 cents. Okay, so that's the first one. So next week we'll come back and look at it. XL. All right, XL, you got this pullback, another buying in here. So take note of it on. Next one we have is Kosan. Now, why I want to show you about Kosan is because we do see institutional buying on this stock. Okay, Kosan, and it's Aberdeen, one of the value. I do see that because if Aberdeen, one of the fund managers are buying that, you can see 474, 860, 521, 876, 20. So this does tell you some valuable investor is coming to pick up this stock in here. So watch out for Kosan on the longer term. And next one is also MYEG. And who would buy MYEG? You might ask. So let's take a look at MYEG here. So MYEG, you can see MYEG is usually the owner, right? You can see the owner are really buying into this stock. So that's why I like this. You can see he's buying 1.8 million is T.S. Wong, the owner. T.S. Wong is the owner. Wong Tiansun is also another Tan Sri there, right? So that's how we see the market in here. And it's also one of the best rated 6 out of 8 for MYEG and many of the so-called business account. Now, if you like what you see on VSA, you can definitely subscribe for a smaller time frame, 3 month and 6 month, and we do have installment available. Of course, some of our members who's watching that use more of the insider buying to check out the stocks that you said. We're still getting great reviews over in here. And of course, if you want to me to check out any of the stocks, feel free to pencil those in. I'm happy to look into it. All right. Else, that's all we have, and have a good weekend in here for the by-election, and definitely Monday I'll be back for the Smart Robie. That's all we have. Thank you for your support.